Boom! It's time to take down Marc Lobliner right now. I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle rant. Man, was this coming for a long time. Marc Lobliner. You know what? I know this guy doesn't like me. I knew right from the beginning. This guy is a one jealous mofo. He doesn't like anyone who's successful. And you know what? If he doesn't like you, you should be actually really, really proud of yourself. It means you probably accomplished something great. I've seen him pretty much bash anyone who's successful in our industry because he's just a very jealous, envious person. He didn't like the fact that I was defending my friend Armon Adibi because Armon put up some modeling photos on his Instagram, uses it to market his coaching services, which are very successful. He has a great following on social media, and Marc is just obviously very jealous of him. I don't know why. He seems to be a pretty successful person in his own right, but I defend my good friend, and of course he has to come after me, and I knew that was coming. It's like prodding a person who you know is just on the brink of dying to say something about you, because I could just tell how he's so jealous and he's so envious of everything I've accomplished. Because let's face it, Marc, you know what you are. You're a frustrated bodybuilder. You're a bodybuilder who couldn't make it. You're a hack. You like to brag. I got my IFBB Pro card from the Masters USA. Couldn't even win Masters Nationals. You're not a real bodybuilder. You're a internet bodybuilder who has got a big mouth, who likes to attack people online, which is what led to your popularity. You have a decent website that makes some money for yourself because you're a hard worker. Give you that, and I take nothing away from that. Even though you think that I am just a bodybuilder who doesn't do anything, I must be very lucky. If I'm the bodybuilder who doesn't work and doesn't do anything, I must just have people who love me and just want to hand me money, I guess. Or maybe it's just all the scams. I just scam people out of money. That's really what it is, right? Maybe you should talk to some of my former colleagues and ask them how unhard that I work, and maybe you'll know that. You know, the fact that I run 3 businesses successfully and have a lot of money in the bank probably has something to do with the fact that I actually have a work ethic. But you'll put that down too, because you don't like anyone who's successful. You'll have to just go back 20 years to when I got caught, whatever, selling drugs. Like, all bodybuilders haven't gotten involved in drugs. And I'm the first person to say, you know what, I made a mistake in life. And you know what, I turned my life around after that. And there are a lot of people in life who make mistakes and come back from it. And that's what makes you a good person, a resilient person, a person to be admired, a leader, and someone who can say, you know what, I don't have all the answers. I made mistakes, but we all make mistakes, and you can come back and be better than you ever were before. But that's not you. You're the guy who wants to say, everyone else is fucked up and I'm the real deal. Guess what? You're not. First of all, the reason why you really got upset with the video was because I said that you were obsessed with Armon's penis size, which, you know what? Everyone I've talked to thinks it's kind of weird that a guy would be obsessed with another guy's package. I mean, you just put a little too much emphasis on how Armon enhanced, in your estimation, his package in his video. Now, I got news for you. He didn't have to enhance it. He has probably a big penis. Unfortunately, you don't. We know that for a fact. And it's always the guys with the small dicks that are always like mad at the guys who have the big dicks and who are successful. And so you have to overwork and overcompensate and criticize the people who you are jealous of in life. And you know what? It's very apparent that you're very jealous of me. I mean, you took shots at me that weren't even accurate. I mean, to say I don't work hard, everyone knows I'm probably one of the hardest working guys in the entire industry. You take a shot at my nutrition company, you don't even know that the term species implies that it's not some alien, okay, from another planet. Species is defined by any living creature on this planet, including humans. We're all species, and bodybuilders are a different species. That's where the name came from. And by the way, I happen to have the most high quality product line on the entire planet, okay? Speaking of the quality of supplements, I've looked at your MTS supplement line. Walmart at best. Your protein is pretty pathetic too. Let's take a look at your whey protein that you sell online. You know, you say you have the best stuff. Let's take a look at it. Your MTS Machine whey protein powder, first of all, is not a pure whey isolate. It's a blend, meaning that you use a cheaper whey protein concentrate, which is listed first, which means it's the higher amount of product in there, versus the whey isolate you use, which right off the bat cheapens the product and implies that there is lactose in this product, because all whey protein concentrates contain lactose. And we can see that reflected if we look at the carb content. There's 3 grams of carbs, 3 of those grams are sugar. You don't have any added sugar in your ingredient list, so the sugar is coming from lactose, which, as we know, most people do not digest well, which is probably why your protein causes gas and diarrhea and upsets people's stomach. But let's look at the serving size of 36 grams. So you have a 36 gram serving size. Of that 36 grams, you claim that you have 25 actually on the marketing. On the label it says 26, which means you probably round up to 26 grams of protein. And you have 3 grams of fat. So it's not even filtered well because you have 3 grams of fat in here, in addition to the fact that you also have 3 grams of sugar coming from lactose. So of that 36 grams, a good portion, 6 grams of that is from fat and sugar, which right off the bat is not going to make it conducive to something that people are going to want to use during contest prep, that's for sure, or anyone who doesn't want to have an upset stomach. In contrast, if you look at my product, Isize, which is the purest whey protein isolate that's available on the market, and I'm not just saying that, you look at the factoids, I have 33 grams in a serving size, which means I have 3 grams less of product in there, yet I have 28 grams of protein. If we round up on certain of the products, this is 27.5, some of them have 28. So 28 grams of protein on a 33 gram serving size. You only have 25 on a 36 gram serving size. There's 0 fat in my product, and there's 2 grams of carbs from the flavoring system, but there's no sugar. It's less than 1 gram of sugar, so there's no lactose in there because we've removed all the lactose. So I put out the best stuff, and people know it's the best stuff. It might not be the cheapest product on the market, but it's the best quality. So for you to take a shot at my product line is you're just making a fool of yourself doing that. You're also making a fool of yourself trying to compare yourself intellectually to me as well, because you can make fun of the fact that I dropped out of medical school at the end of my 3rd year there, but you can't take away the education that I have from being there. So you can call me a med school dropout all you want. It's not going to devalue, and it's not going to invalidate my education and the knowledge that I have that's far superior to yours. I don't like to come off as arrogant or as an elitist, but when someone is comparing themselves to me and trying to put down what I have to offer and what my knowledge base is, I challenge you. You want to go and you want to have a debate on knowledge? Let's have a debate. Let's have a science debate. Let's have a supplement debate. You pick the questions. Send me the questions. We can have a little debate. We'll see how intellectually superior you are to me. And you want to compare your physique to mine? Are you kidding me? I was competing in the heyday of bodybuilding, okay? I was 300 pounds lean. I was the biggest guy on stage with the best conditioning. Did I have the greatest structure of all time? No. If I did, I'd be Mr. Olympia, but I didn't. But I took my physique to the highest level, something that you can never say you did. You were a mediocre bodybuilder at best. You're competing during a time where they give 300 pro cards at one show out, and you got in good shape for one show, and you were lucky that no one else showed up and you got a pro card. What does that mean? You couldn't place top 20 at a pro show in an open class. So you're going to compare your physique to mine. It's almost embarrassing for you to do that because people know what I look like. I don't. It sucks that I have to put pictures up there of my physique. You pick the worst picture of all time that's online of me, and you're going to portray that as my physique, when you know that that's not the case. But you'll do anything to prove your narrative and that your narrative is correct. But you know what? No one's buying it. People know that you're a jealous, envious person. And you know what the truth is? You don't need to be. You have a successful business. You obviously have a work ethic that has made you a success both financially and physique-wise. So why would you attack someone who you know is in a league above you, okay? Why? Because it makes you feel better about yourself. It goes back to the small dick syndrome. That's just what happens when guys have small dicks. They got to try to measure everything else in their life up against everyone else. He doesn't work, he's not smart, he doesn't have a good physique, he's a scumbag, you know, he doesn't have any talent. You're making a fool of yourself because you're basically trying to invalidate everything that the industry knows about me to be true. And you know what? You just make yourself look like an idiot. That's all. I'm going to defend my friends to the end of time. And you know what? Armon did nothing wrong, and he did nothing that 1,000 other people in our industry don't do every single day, which is to put up filtered pictures, Photoshop pictures to help them sell their business. Whether you like it or not, he's a good coach. And you know what? He has a strong work ethic too. And he also has his own demons that he's overcome, just like anyone else out there. So for you to take pot shots at him after he gets back on stage after not having competed for all those years, because he was on probation, because he was dealing with a lot of BS over a former marriage and custody battle, shame on you. You're a loser. That's the bottom line. You're a jealous, envious loser. And everyone else out there knows this to be true. You might have your 10 cronies who will chime in and put some negative comments on this video and say, yeah, you're the best, Mark. But you know what the truth is? You know deep down inside that you feel inadequate for whatever reason. It's probably something from childhood, but it probably has something to do with your penis size too, because you are a little too obsessed with Armon's penis size. And it sucks when you can't be happy for people and their accomplishments and try to emulate them rather than try to tear them down, denigrate them, and look for reasons to invalidate those people who are successful so that you can feel better about yourself. As far as coaching goes, I can't even believe that you would even pick on my coaching, services. I've probably coached more people in the last 25, 30 years than probably anyone else in the industry. I have thousands and thousands of people that I've helped. I've turned innumerable people pro in every aspect and every division of the bodybuilding industry. Everyone knows that. I don't have to sit here and list every guy. It's hundreds of people. From the Juan Morels, Akeem Williams, people that are still competing, Evan Santapani, Guy Cisternino. I could list 100 people that are relevant people that I've helped. And you're going to try to invalidate me? Who have you helped? You haven't helped anyone. It's amazing that you would put down things that I have actually excelled in. I've actually been validated through. People respect me about that. And you're like Biden. It's like you're talking out of your freaking ass and making up your own fictitious narrative as if it's 100% real. It's unbelievable. Maybe you should talk to some of the professionals like Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Chris Angel that I work with as well. Maybe you should ask them, if I know what I'm talking about. Because they obviously felt that I was knowledgeable enough that they were going to pay me money and use me as their coach. I don't see them hiring you. You know what your real problem is at the end of the day? It's not dick size. It's not supplement company wise. It's not job worth. It's not how much money we have in the bank. You just don't like the fact that I'm way more respected than you in this bodybuilding industry. And that's the truth. Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle Rant.